You scared me.
Woo! I'm a ghost.
All right. Well, we're back at it. You heard me the whole time, huh?
Yes, I was here the whole time.
Okay. Sounds
Very
good.
strange.
Sounds good. Very strange, but that's all right.
My
I feel
my
good that I'm
stuff
not
stopped
alone.
recording on my end, so I'm gonna go scope that out. This is the
Oh
best
no!
one, folks. Remember that.
This is the best one. This brings us back to our fucking days when we started out when shit got all funky. Funky like a monkey. That's good. That's all right. Pasty will get us back up on the YouTube end. And while he's doing that, I'll go over some injuries and everything, and then we'll TakeOver, Royal Rumble, Raw, SmackDown, all of that fun shit. I'm happy when we have less injuries. I'm always happier, and I've only got 2 injuries to report. One is really not good, and the other one is actually just a continuing thing. So, without further ado, Jason Jordan, as a lot of you may have noticed, he would not participate this Monday due to a neck injury. That is a legitimate neck injury. Yes, folks, Kurt Angle's baby boy actually ended up having neck surgery Tuesday morning, less than 24 hours after he appeared on that Raw, and was physical. He didn't really take a bump, but he was physical. According to WWE.com, he had an injury to a disc in his neck, which resulted in significant pain, refractory to all conservative measures. Refractory to all conservative measures. I think that just means that they had to do surgery. It's a fancy phrase for that. WWE Medical Director Dr. Joseph Maroon said it was decided to do a minimally invasive operation to decompress the nerve to allow it to heal. The procedure Jordan underwent is called a minimally invasive posterior cervical microdiscectomy. How do you like that, folks? I said that straight on.
Yes,
just fine
did.
after my beer even. It is not known just how long Jordan will be out of action, but this is neck surgery, so my guess is the poor guy is missing Mania, at least as an actual competitor, which is not good for him. I know all
Jason Jordan's
kind of
wife. I gotta go out here because I don't see this in the news here at all. Jason Jordan's wife, April Everhart, is calling that out as fake news.
Oh,
yes.
because I had seen her tweet that he was actually. I had seen her tweet that he was injured and got surgery.
Yeah, minor neck surgery, and we'll be back in no time, not 8 months.
Okay. Well, nobody said 8 months. All right, we didn't say 8 months. You and I.
I think that's what they said this week on the shows.
Oh, you and I did not say that. I did not say 8 months.
Okay.
Nowhere on here. It is not known how long Jordan will be out of action. But even if it's not 8 months, I can't imagine with it being the middle of February now and WrestleMania being the middle of April. No. I can't imagine he's going to be ready at WrestleMania is what I'm saying.
And from what I've gathered today
I was going to say, I seen a quote
Seth and Dean were supposed to hold the tag titles until just before WrestleMania, or at WrestleMania, when Dean would stab Rollins in the back. But then since Dean was out, Jason Jordan was replaced, and I have a feeling they were going to go with that same storyline with Jason Jordan.
Yep, and now he's injured.
So you know, kind of Seth Rollins is always either injuring people or around people as they get injured.
Ain't that the truth? He's a jinx. He's just a jinx.
That's why Roman Reigns is so reluctant to go back to the Shield. He's like, I'm doing pretty good over here, guys.
So with Reigns probably being set to face Brock, it's like, what do they do with Rollins? They got him in this feud, in this kind of feud with the Bar now. So it's like, what do they do? Do they have him versus Sheamus or him versus Cesaro? Do they have a handicap match maybe? Does he get another? I hope they don't just team him with another guy. I hope not. It's been rough for poor Rollins, yeah.
It really has.
The other
Finn
thing
Balor.
to talk about here is the Big Show. He was on Busted Open Radio, and he opened up about recent complications. He said, quote, "I've had a hip resurfacing injury in September. The surgery went really well. I got home, and after 3.5 weeks, I was walking a mile. Things started to feel good, but then I got a fever. I found out I had a surgical infection. The more I find out about these metal implants, it's quite high to get an infection." I don't think that's what he meant to say. I think he meant either it's not likely or it's quite low. But anyways, he said, "I just got the unlucky draw. The hospital I had it done in, New York, is one of the top in the world for least amount of surgical infections. They had to open me up again, take it out, clean it, flush it, etc. If the infection had got any worse, they would have had to cut the metal pieces out, put in what they call a cement joint for 3 months, and then do a full-on hip replacement, which would have ended my career completely. I got a thing called a PICC line, which is basically an IV line from my left arm to my heart. For 7 weeks, I was walking around with an IV bag 3 times a day, total of 8 hours a day." So it's not a new injury, but it is complications with some surgery that he just recently had. But he's been on TV and looking good. So I mean,
yeah, and he was recently tweeting that he's been a picture of him working out, saying he's better than ever.
Yeah, so hopefully he gets this whole thing taken care of. And has as least complications going forward as possible. Yeah. I know what that's all about, man. A few years ago, I had a routine, easy surgery, and I had infections and complications up the ass. And every now and then, you're just the one person that draws that unlucky straw, and you get it. No matter how good or bad the doctors or the hospital is, it's part of life. And you might be that one person. And I dealt with it. I feel it. I get it. I understand it. You just moved to Philly for some reason.
Making it look nice on the page. I'm sorry.
Just jumped all of a sudden. It's like, whoop.
I love that it updates live. That's why we have to use this program. It's wonderful.
That is great. It is great. You ready to get into TakeOver, Loke?
Well, I did want to say, I hope a speedy recovery for Big Show. I don't want to see him spend another 5 years in WWE, but I do want to see one final run for the man. Well wishes.
Yeah, he's looked worse than he looks now. I wouldn't say he's at the best in his career, but he's been worse in his career than he's at now.
Yeah.
And just given, I mean, you talk about it, he started back in 1995 in WCW. His first match was against Hulk Hogan. His first professional on-screen match was against Hulk Hogan, and he won the title. And you look at years later, I mean, that's been 20 plus years he's been in the business. And you know what? Sometimes he's actually held the product down and hurt the product. But he's been loyal. He's stuck around. He's had great matches. He's had horrible matches. He's had a ton of memorable moments. WWE has raped him for memorable moments. That's for sure. From everything from breaking rings when they have suplexes to jumping on his father's casket as the big boss man drove away with his dead father. So, I mean, he's almost done it all.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, as long as the man can go out there and do it, let him go out there and do it. Wish him the best. Yeah, his knockout punch is awful, but whatever.
You don't love it? That
I
super
don't love
slow motion punch. It's so great.
I am glad that he doesn't hurt people with it, because if he went full-on punch, he would knock a motherfucker out.
Oh, yeah.
It's got to be scary to have that power. And hey, he took a full-on punch from
Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. Took a straight-on punch to the jaw that knocked him loopy. You got to give him credit for that. How many people will let a professional boxer, ungloved, just fucking wail him in the face? Not me. Not me. Not at all. We ready to move on, Pasty?
Oh, yeah.
No?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Yes.
Sorry. Didn't hear you.
Weird.
All right. So, Philadelphia TakeOver happened a week, about almost 2 weeks ago now. Almost a week ago. Almost 2 weeks ago. Sorry. Anyways, awesome show. Some great matches. We're going to touch on a few of them. Just to let you know, the first match, tag team titles, Undisputed Era, defended their titles against the Authors of Pain and won them. I called that one.
Yes, you did.
Velveteen Dream defeated Cassius Ohno in what is written very weirdly on the screen. And I called that one also. Cassius Velveteen Dream defeated Ohno.
Oh, no.
Whatever. Picked up another point there. NXT Women's title. I did want to talk about this, Pasty. I don't know that we have to talk much about it. I thought this was an awesome match.
Fuck yeah.
Shayna impressed me.
Yes. Holy shit, is she ruthless. I like it. I like it a lot.
And Moon sold like hell.
It was a very, very good match. This, like I said, this TakeOver, I know when I was talking to you, we didn't get a chance to talk about it on the show, of course. But when I was talking about it to you, this feels like a good old NXT TakeOver.
Yes. Like I said, man, I think this is the second coming, because this felt, like you said, like a good old TakeOver. I don't remember a lot of specifics about this match. I know Shayna was dominating the most of it. Ember Moon did end up picking up the win with the Eclipse. But Shayna Baszler was ruthless, and Ember Moon was just selling everything that Shayna gave her. I mean, you felt for Ember the whole time. And I think, at least me, I honestly felt Shayna could have won it at this match. There's a few times I was like, she might win.
Yeah. It was intense. It was a fucking good match. Just working body parts.
Yeah, and good storytelling. Just awesome storytelling. Yes. And for Shayna Baszler being so new to the business, the fact that the storytelling was so great, I mean, is for both women, you got to give it up to them, because
Ember
it's hard
retained
for
her championship, but Shayna walked away the winner. I mean, she didn't win, but holy shit, this is good for her.
Yeah, she definitely impressed you and made you think that anything could happen, for sure. You and I both picked Ember Moon to win, so we both picked up a point there. After that, we had an Extreme Rules match with Aleister Black taking on Adam Cole. Aleister Black won this one. This wasn't as ruthless as it could have been, but we definitely have to talk about the ending.
Yeah.
I guess not. Yeah, it was the ending. Aleister Black set up 2 chairs, and he put them seat to seat, like he was gonna like power bomb them or death belly driver or whatever, put them through them like they do. But then he thought twice about it, and he turned it around and put them back to back, so that they were literally just a point up, like just a jagged edge.
Yes.
And he picked Adam Cole up and he dropped him back first onto the point of those fucking chairs. and damn near broke Adam Cole in two. Almost snapped him in half like Macho Man snapping into a Slim Jim. Can you dig it? Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, and it was
I
a
marked the
decent
fuck out
Extreme
when he
Rules
did
match.
something as simple as turning the chairs around.
Yeah. And I thought that Cole was gonna like weasel out of it.
Yeah, no, I thought it was gonna be
something.
used against Alistair, because usually you set up what you're going through. You know what I mean?
Right? See, I didn't even think that. I thought he was gonna weasel out of it and then get like Alistair's face onto one of the seats or something. I didn't even think they were gonna use the two backs together. And they ended up doing it, and it looked sick. And you know, not only do I got to give it to Adam Cole for taking it, because that had to hurt.
Yeah.
I give so much credit to Aleister Black for not breaking Adam Cole's back and landing it somewhat safely.
Yeah, he still fought in the Royal Rumble the next night.
Oh man, awesome match. And when this match was over, I said to myself, "This is the match of the night. No one's topping this."
You were wrong.
There was no way that Almas and Johnny Gargano were gonna top this match. No way.
That's
it wasn't
where I was
happen.
too, though. I will give you that. That's exactly. Holy shit! This was a good old fucking NXT takeover. It's a fucking Catalina wine mixer.
My God. So then we see in the NXT title match, Andrade Cien Almas versus Johnny Gargano.
In 2018's match of the year?
This, I mean, very easily could end up being the match of the year. I honestly believe, and this is my opinion, I think I said it to you too, either through message or verbally. I honestly think this match was better than anything on Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I don't say that lightly, because this was, you know what? This Wrestle Kingdom was worse in the last 2 years. This wasn't the best Wrestle Kingdom ever, but it was still awesome. And the fact that this match on not only an NXT takeover, but just like a Rumble takeover. This wasn't the Mania takeover. This is just a Rumble takeover. It's like, holy shit, the fact that this match was better than anything we've seen there. Fuck.
It was amazing.
Fuck.
You had to be there. And if you haven't watched it,
you can't even explain
go sign up for a free WWE Network account and go watch it.
Right? Everybody else has. You can't explain it. It was just so much back and forth. There were so many false finishes. There were so many times I thought it was over. I honestly, and you know what? Not only that, but I think they knew people like me were waiting for Ciampa to interfere, because there was like so many times that it seemed like Ciampa was going to interfere. And I even seen it in the audience. There were so many times where something would happen and the audience would jump up and look towards the entryway, waiting for Tommaso Ciampa. And they did their best to tease us, and that was good. That was awesome. I love that. I think that's great. And I marked out so much when Zelina Vega was interfering against Johnny Gargano for Andrade Cien Almas. And in the front row is I've just lost her name. The world's cutest tag team with Joey Ryan. Candice LeRae. Sorry.
Michelle.
Yeah, Candice LeRae.
There you go.
Not Michelle. Two
Know.
hugely different people. His wife, Johnny Gargano's wife, Candice LeRae, actually interfered and knocked her out. Took out Vega and took her out of the equation. And that got a huge pop. So, like, all the people there knew, because they were chanting, "We want Candice." So that's cool. I watched the latest NXT also after that. And she's in there now between Johnny and Sienna and Vega and her. So NXT, at least, I don't know about WWE, but NXT has enough faith in Candice LeRae that they're throwing her in the main event right now. Awesome. That was great.
Hell yeah.
I just don't have enough good things to say about this match, and it's hard for me to even explain it.
It was a fucking classic. It had everything you could possibly want.
Easily.
I loved
and
it
more.
so much.
It had stuff I didn't know I wanted.
But I got a bone to pick with you, you motherfucking fucker. You do not get 0.5 points.
Why not?
Because Ciampa did not interfere in the match.
That's why I get a half a point.
No, you get like 0.25.
You get 0.5 for calling out and not getting it. I'd have got 2 points if I'd have got it, right? I mean, you got to get some kind of punishment. You can't just call the things and they don't happen.
Fine.
Which we have been doing in the past. We've been adding extras, but not like penalizing ourselves for them. This is the first time I've penalized us, Loke, and I'm penalizing myself. In the past, we've said like interferes, but then we didn't penalize for it. So since it's a new year, I figured we'd penalize. If you call something, if it happens, but what you called didn't happen, but the outcome happens, you get a half a point. But if what you called happens, you get 2 points. That way there's a risk, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
I mean, if you give me only 2-5, I still beat you, but I gave myself less than you. I gave you a full point for it. I penalized myself. And this is the first time we've penalized for calling things.
Usually penalize with us means something completely different.
That is true. It's kind of like docking. That's what we call docking. It's penalize.
Initiate, penalize.
All in all, I can't say this is the best takeover ever, but this is going to be in the talks of the best NXT takeovers ever.
Oh, yeah.
And that match is going to be on every time somebody talks about the best NXT matches ever, this match is going to be in the talks.
You know, and the best part is, for how great this NXT takeover was, I didn't walk away from the Royal Rumble thinking it was a piece of shit. That's a good thing.
You and I talked about that. I think they really stepped up their I think the Rumble stepped up their game to where you didn't feel for the first time.
If I had to say it, NXT TakeOver was probably better than the Rumble, but it didn't take away from the Rumble the way it usually does when an NXT pay-per-view succeeds.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And I would say with the fact of one being 4 hours and one being 2 hours.
Right.
That it's probably about pretty even, if you look at it that way.
Oh, I watched the whole fucking 2-hour pre-show, too. Because I'm a stupid ass.
So that's what, 6 hours?
6 hours of Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I didn't. I didn't, and I wasn't going to. But I will say, I mean, I have to go back.
Yeah, you didn't even tune in until 7 o'clock. But it worked, because at least when you tuned in, we were on the same page. Like
but my goal for NXT right now, in the immediate future, is I want to go back and I want to watch Sasha Bailey. I want to watch Nakamura and Sami Zayn, and I want to watch Andrade Cien Almas and Johnny Gargano. Those 3 NXT TakeOver matches back to back, and pick out which one I think is the best. That's my personal goal for myself. It has nothing to do with the podcast or nothing. I just really want to do that. And if nothing else, it's just going to be an awesome, hour and a half of entertainment.
They should have a WWE collection on there for that already.
They should. Give me 3 shakes of a lamb's tail, and I'll be right back, and we'll get into the Royal Rumble. I'll be really quick. Hold on. I got to take care of something.
The lamb's tail shakes once, and twice, and 3 times a lady. Nah, fuck all that shit. Fuck all that shit! Man, buttered pop culture. I brought it up at the start of the show. I'm gonna bring it up again right now. New show coming to you from Cloud Style Broadcasting. Actually, it's me and the Fat Mac in a whole nother format, digging our fingers deep into pop culture to find out what makes entertainment tick. Everything you love will be explored and dissected and molested. It's going to be a great show. I'm actually really excited for it. We did get the page up, so if you wanted to check us out on Facebook, check out at Buttered Pop Culture. Show's going to start soon. We had talked about starting it last weekend, and then the illness befell the B-Sticks podcast show. So we didn't do anything last weekend. We might try to get around to it this weekend yet. I don't know. We haven't really talked about it too terribly much. But we do want to get these episodes coming out to you as soon as possible. I know Fat Mac wants to sit and dissect the Cloverfield series. Yes, it's a series, folks. Cloverfield is more than just one movie. And I myself, for an early on episode, would like to take a look at the magic behind Nintendo. Because they've got something, man. They've got something. They can compete with 4K resolution, high-end game consoles and keep up. It's crazy. Actually, right now, they're outselling PS4, which is phenomenal.
It is the magic of Nintendo. And you know what? If we play our cards right, we can coincide the Buttered Pop Culture release with the Fantastic Fables release, because there's a Fantastic Fables that's going to be coming out talking about what, in my opinion, is the best Super Mario game of all time, which is Mario Brothers 2. Sometimes called Super Mario USA, sometimes called Super Mario Brothers 2, sometimes called the fake Super Mario Brothers.
Now, is that your favorite because you had to disqualify Super Mario RPG? Because that is obviously the best Mario ever.
Why would I have to disqualify Super Mario RPG? I love Super Mario RPG. I wouldn't disqualify that.
Okay. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying my episode would have been Mario RPG. Actually, I'm playing it again now because I got Nintendo Fever. And it's ridiculous.
That would actually be a really good that would be a really good episode to do, and I'd be okay doing it. And I actually have an ongoing game on my Wii of Super Mario RPG, because that is a fun one.
I just got to Moleville.
Not my favorite, not even my second favorite. Maybe in my top 5.
Really?
But I definitely,
God, I love that.
I definitely put Super Mario World and Super Paper Mario above that also.
Super Paper Mario.
Yeah,
The first two Paper Marios are the only Paper Marios. No, first two Paper Marios.
Super Paper Mario is the second one.
Was it?
The one with Count Bleck.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, the second one was Thousand Year Door, buddy.
Yeah, that's the one with Count Bleck, Loke.
Yeah, but
that's the main villain.
It's called Thousand Year Door. It's not called Super Paper Mario.
I think it's called Super Paper Mario: The Thousand Year Door, isn't it?
I think Super Paper Mario was the next one. Hang on.
Look it up.
another quick look into the show, guys.
I'm happy to say, even though the
Super Paper Mario was the third one,
at water,
and that was on the Wii.
Oh, okay. So then I'm wrong. I meant Thousand Year Door, the one with Count Bleck, the one with the flip side and everything.
Yes.
Mimi and Chunks
I still
and
want to
all of
say the
them.
first one's better, but that was the first game
I don't think it is.
That was the very first game I ever stayed up all night playing.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can believe that.
God,
but I do love
so
Mario with the RPG mentality, which both Paper Mario and Mario RPG gives you the RPG mentality. Both of them do.
And at that point, you do got to give some credit to the Mario and Luigi games on handheld consoles. At least the first couple were exceptionally good. And I've played a handful here and there throughout the timeline, and I always find myself enjoying it too. It's just, you give more story to the Mario world, and it helps everything so much. And they all have so much humor to them.
I've never played any of them, but my son has played probably all of them, and he loves them. And did you know there is one where it's 3 people, and it's Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario?
No, I didn't know that.
One of the Mario Luigi games is Mario, Luigi, and Paper Mario. Paper Mario is the 3rd character.
I played the first 2, and then I played Bowser's Inside Story, which was pretty okay.
Sticker Star?
Sticker Star's Paper Mario game.
Might be Mario. Okay, then maybe that isn't it. There's one it's a Mario and Luigi game, and the 3rd person is Paper Mario.
Cool.
And he's his own person. He's different than Mario. So. Anyway, let's talk about the Royal Rumble.
Let us.
I got a few matches we're going to talk about. First, let's say the pre-show had the U.S. Open Challenge. Bobby Roode defended his title against whatever Taker. It ended up being Mojo Rawley, and Bobby Roode won. I have heard that Dolph Ziggler was supposed to be the original guy to take it. And I have heard that... Oh, there was another person I heard was supposed to be the one to take it. Or to go against him. Every time I think Roode was supposed to win, but... I don't know. Dolph Ziggler, I know you picked Dolph Ziggler, but it just seems weird that he would have gave up the U.S. title just to come and try to win it back on this.
Right. Now he's going after the WWE Championship.
Which still makes no sense that he returned and did that. But anyways, Roode won. I got a point for that. But I will say on the Royal Rumble, I ended up winning the majority of them, but I took the safe route. And all the way through, I think I took the safe route. So I'll take the win. But it was you were the one going out there and going for the fence, swinging for the fence.
Anything can happen.
That's true.
Especially when things are open ended, it's kind of hard to make the call. But I
took the safe route, and I think this year the safe route worked. But I think this is a good year where I often say, I don't like predictability, but being unpredictable just to be unpredictable is not good. That can even hurt you.
Yeah.
And this year, I think a lot of it was predictable, but I think I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So you move on to the 2-on-1 handicap match for the WWE Championship. AJ Styles took on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. You went with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which again was the long shot win. I went for AJ. AJ won it. But in suspicious fashion. The guy that AJ pinned was Sami Zayn, was Kevin Owens.
Yeah, who was not the legal man.
It was Kevin Owens, but Kevin Owens was not the legal man. Now, again, what really throws this off was it 3 weeks ago? They had a match where the wrong Uso got pinned,
and they looked back
and they
at the
completely
footage?
Stopped the show, looked at the replay, and started the match over again. And you and I both said that week, you can't do that because it sets a precedence. So why, now that it's an actual championship match on a
the WWE Championship match,
why wouldn't you restart the match? It's stupid because of that.
Yeah.
But
especially since it's on the same show.
Yes.
It wasn't even Raw 3 weeks ago. It was SmackDown.
but the match itself was pretty decent, I thought. I liked the Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn stuff. I honestly thought that they were gonna, well, I guess this goes into SmackDown too, but I thought they were gonna trick everybody and work together, and they actually had a lot of times they were against each other.
Which is good.
But this was a good, yeah, it is good, because they both should want it. It was a good enough match. It wasn't amazing.
The problem is they're just building this up to Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. And we just had Kevin Owens versus Chris Jericho at WrestleMania. And it's the same. The storytelling was better last time.
It was. And in this match specifically, it's just hard to make a handicap match amazing. So it was an okay match.
I mean, at least this time in Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn's feud, there's a story to it, not just these guys go way back and didn't like each other from back then or whatever.
Right, that isn't just the story that they grew up together. I hear you there. They're giving them a reason to feud.
Yeah.
After that, we had a 2 out of 3 falls match for the tag team titles. Usos versus Gable and Benjamin. The Usos won the first 2 falls without Gable and Benjamin getting a single fall.
Right.
I thought that was cool. I liked that they threw us off because I don't think either of us expected that.
I don't think anybody expected it. Because even when I called it, I said Gable and Benjamin will get the first fall, and then the Usos will get the next 2. Guarantee it.
Nope. Good match. It wasn't the 2 out of 3 falls match that I wanted. That was just a hard fought, fucking crazy, 45-minute match.
But it can't be on this pay-per-view.
No, well, it could, but with 2 rumbles it can't. You're right. With 2 rumbles it can't be. No. But this was an unpredictability that I thought worked well. I did not see that happening. I thought it worked good. I thought it helped push the Usos. I really enjoyed this match also. Pacey, you called the Usos. You get a point for that. I did not call the Usos.
I get a point. A point.
Then we had the Men's Royal Rumble. Halfway through the match, I don't think anybody predicted that either. That the mid-main event would be the Men's Royal Rumble.
Right. I was really not happy when AJ Styles defended his championship to open up the night. And then I was less happy when the Men's Royal Rumble started. But seeing the pay-per-view as a whole, it all makes sense.
Yeah, I would agree with you. After you step back and look at the whole painting, it's cohesive.
Every time they did something like that, I'm like, okay, well, this better be fucking good then. And it didn't disappoint me. So.
And it was.
Good.
The Rumble, this was one of the better Rumble matches we've had for a long time.
Yeah. I actually paid attention to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it was like, wow. Now, full discretion here, folks. I tuned in right now. So when the Men's Royal Rumble started was when I first tuned into the whole pay-per-view.
I gotta make sure
for some reason
message you when I know a pay-per-view is starting earlier. Because you're always like,
right?
I thought it was at 7. No, man, it's a big 4. These things are like 12 hours long.
I wasn't thinking about it. Because the thing is, earlier I had thought about, it's coming up like at 5 o'clock. I was like, I know it's coming up. And so I decided to watch something that was like an hour long or something, or 2 hours long to kill the time. So it was like, I could have. But anyways, I really was invested in this. Finn Balor was what, number 2 or number 3 or something?
I think number 3.
They had, anyways, the whole time, there was always somebody in there that you were interested in. And there was always action going on. I really enjoyed that. It came down to 6 people. And this was awesome because they had the old guard versus the new guard. On the old guard side, they had Randy Orton, John Cena, and Rey Mysterio. And by the way, Rey Mysterio got better reaction than he did when everybody expected Daniel Bryan to be number 30 and Rey Mysterio came instead and got nothing but boos. Much better this time. So, and then on the new guard side, you had Roman Reigns, Finn Balor, and Shinsuke
Finn Balor
Nakamura.
was in at number 2.
And
I apologize.
What's that?
Finn Balor was in at number 2.
Okay.
Jumping back. Sorry.
Yeah, and you know what? And the way they were selling Finn Balor and the fact that he was at number 2, I thought that maybe he could win it. And I know 2 weeks ago when we had our preview for it, I said Shinsuke Nakamura is my pick, but Finn Balor might have been my number 2, and I was almost thinking Finn Balor was going to win this. So they had him across the ring.
And then go on to fight Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
Looking at each other. And so they all fought, the 6 of them. Robble. Anyways, of course, Rey Mysterio gets thrown out, and Finn Balor gets thrown out. And it comes down to John Cena, Randy Orton, Roman Reigns, and Nakamura. And I messaged you, Pasty, and I said, this is where we find out if WWE listens to the fans.
Yep.
Because it could have gone Roman Reigns, it could have gone John Cena, it could have gone Randy Orton.
Randy Orton. That's all I was hoping.
It went Shinsuke Nakamura, and it's like, you know, him and John Cena were the 2 obvious choices. But man, I was so ecstatic when they actually pulled the trigger on Shinsuke. Because there are a lot of reasons to not do it, and they did it.
And good God, man, I love Shinsuke now that he's won the Royal Rumble on SmackDown. I'm going to beat you at WrestleMania.
I am going to beat you at WrestleMania.
Knee to the face.
I want that as a fucking ringtone. I know, I love it.
I hope he loses at WrestleMania, and then at the Raw after WrestleMania, he's still doing it.
Right? That would be great. This was good. This had me jumping. This had me hooping. This had me hollering. This gave me faith because, like I said,
I thought you were going to say a boner.
When these 4 were in the ring together, I felt to myself like, okay, we're going to see if times are never going to change or if times are changing. And
they set that up on purpose just to make you feel that feel.
Oh, yeah, they played with our emotions, definitely. I mean, that was you're damn right, Pasty. That was they strategically put those 6 people in at the end and those 4 people at the end.
They hired the best psychologists in the world to come up at that spot.
Because the last 2 were Roman Reigns and Shinsuke. So it's basically, is it fucking yay or boo? Yay or boo? Yay or boo? We got yay!
Right. Yeah, and it was genius having it come down to Roman Reigns and Shinsuke, too. Because it could go either way.
That was.
And
yeah, every one of us knew it could go either way. And I think most of us, myself included, thought it might go Roman Reigns. Like,
it's good on the edge of your seat entertainment from the WWE. Thank goodness. Wonderful.
And this is a perfect example of where being predictable can be good.
Yes.
Because a lot of us, I mean, me picking Nakamura was the safe bet. It's not like I went out of the fucking realm and said, hey, I'm going to pick Nakamura.
For the record,
was a fairly safe bet for
me to pick. I
picked
Big Cass, and I'm very disappointed in myself.
And I got a point and you didn't. But
my guy didn't even enter in the Rumble.
If they would have picked Randy Orton, yeah, that's right. The guy didn't even. That's true.
I made up for it in my women's predictions, though.
But if they would have picked Randy Orton just to be unpredictable, that would have been horrible. Horrible. So that's a good example of that. Moving on, we had the tag titles for Raw. Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan versus The Bar. The Bar ended up winning the titles from Jordan and Rollins after Oh, I don't even remember what happened. Fuck. Do you remember, Pasty? Some kind of shenanigans.
Yeah, it was
on
shenanigans.
Jordan.
Jason Jordan being a shenanigan. Oh, yeah, he sat down on the stairs. He tagged himself out and sat down on the stairs.
Oh, yeah. He was knocked. He was knocked with a concussion, and then this week they said that it was a neck injury, which didn't make sense, but whatever. It was a neck injury.
News.
However, you knocked Loopy, you fucker. Yeah, you're right. So bar one, I got a point on that. Triple threat for the Universal Championship. Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman versus Kane. For the most part, this was your typical big man cluster blast. In a good way. That seen them throw everything at it. And as we predicted, Brock Lesnar ended up getting the pin on Kane. We basically spilled it out fucking for you on that. But Pasty, do you want to tell them why we're actually talking about this match? The one thing
you
that
mean
was
the
pretty
best
noticeable.
thing ever for the best episode of Beef Sticks Podcast ever?
Yes,
man. Let's talk about a solid fucking knee to the face from Braun Strowman to Brock Lesnar. More so than that, let's talk about two receipt punches that connected and looked like Braun Strowman's lucky his brains did not exit out his opposite ear. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Holy shit. And they're saying Braun did it
Brock
on accident and it was just a receipt. But Braun and Brock have been working together. And this time they're like, no, we're going to do this. I'm going to give you a receipt for it. But that's just to make up for it. Because Brock likes physical contact in his fights. He does.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So him and Braun sat backstage and talked about it. I don't think it was accidental. Although the look on Braun's face afterwards kind of says it was. Because he looked really sad.
I think it was accidental. Because I think Braun was taken aback by those two fucking punches.
He didn't get knocked the fuck out, though.
Like he was
good on Braun. He could have been out. That was rough. It was wonderful.
But to be honest, even if you're expecting punches from Brock, it'll probably fucking take you off guard anyway. You probably don't know what you're expecting,
Right.
Yeah, that was a couple of fucking stiff blows in a row.
And the knee didn't even really look that bad. Like the receipt was for way more than the product.
Oh yeah, it was. Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I mean, the knee didn't look comfortable, but you're right. It looked like the punches hurt worse than the fucking receipt or than the fucking knee. It was good. Good shit. It's good to see that stuff still happens in wrestling.
I loved it. And at that point, it didn't matter what happened the rest of the match. That was good enough for me.
And I like to believe that once they went backstage, like Braun was like, sorry, Brock, didn't mean to get you. And Brock was like, I know, dude. Sorry,
I think Brock
about the
probably
punches.
laughed it off and
give
slapped him on the shoulder. That's what I think. Braun might have apologized and Brock just laughs and slaps him.
Maybe. Slapped his ass, maybe. He's an old football guy. Just slapped him in the ass. We'll let it go. But this was good for what it was supposed to be, I think, right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it wasn't as bad as it could have been.
I wasn't disappointed, but I wasn't thrilled with it.
I picked wrong again. Because apparently I was trying to. Looking at the list this week as compared to 2 weeks ago, I think maybe I was trying to lose. Because
you definitely did not take. I mean, you took the gamble on almost every one of these. I took the safe route, and you took the gamble. I definitely. And then we had the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match. The historic first ever Women's Royal Rumble match.
Historic kicks from Sasha Banks to Lita in the corner.
Yeah, those kicks that didn't even fucking
10 feet away.
Did not touch her, but Sasha wasn't even looking at her. She was just like doing dance moves. It was ridiculous. My biggest complaint about this, it was okay. It was okay. My biggest complaint is that obviously none of these women have done a Royal Rumble before, and 50% of these women haven't even wrestled regularly for a long time.
Right.
So to ask them to go out and do fucking 30 minutes is asking a lot. But there was a lot of women that just rolled to the outside and hung out outside. Like, I'd say 50% of the women spent 50% of their time outside without being thrown out, like just rolling out and hanging out on the floor.
Yeah,
it was
it happened a lot. It didn't happen very much in the men's Royal Rumble match, which I noticed and was happy for, because I don't like that. Once in a while it's okay, especially if it's a good heel doing it. But
yeah, like King did it one time. He rolled under the ring apron and stayed till like the last four and came out. And that was part of his heel shtick. It was part of a storyline.
I want to see a guy roll out and stay out until the last two.
This was not that.
That's what I want to see.
Bothered me. Other than that, it was okay for being. Yeah, for being the first ever, it was okay.
Yeah, I want to see a good heel roll out, stay out until somebody thinks they won, and they leave the ring. Big guy goes over the top rope, steps over it all, steps down, and then the heel rolls in. That would be great, and then he just wins.
Yes,
that would be. I want that 1 year. 1 year, not a lot. 1 year.
No, you wouldn't want that year after year after year. But. So the last four on this one was Sasha Banks, Brie Bella, Nikki Bella, and Asuka. Again, I think they did a good job of making you think 3 out of these 4 could win it. I think Nikki Bella and Asuka were the 2 forerunners, obviously. But Sasha could have also won it, especially since she came in at number 1. And I messaged you while we were watching it that Stephanie kept talking about Sasha. So I was like, does she know Sasha's going to win and she's just subconsciously talking about her? And I thought coming in at number 1 and it being the first women's rumble, right, it'd be poignant. Number 1 in the first 1-1, that kind of stuff. And I'd be okay with Sasha winning the first one, but I'm glad it was Asuka. They made her look dominant. I'm glad it wasn't Nikki. Out of all the 4, I'm so glad it just wasn't Nikki.
Yeah, I wasn't very happy.
Winning, yeah, if it would have been John Cena winning the men's and Nikki winning the women's, I might have been done with wrestling altogether. There might not be a Beef Sticks podcast today.
No, it was good. They definitely pandered to the fans, and they don't do that often enough. But they did it now, and it counted. It really did. I know my pick was for Beth Phoenix. She was actually in the Rumble, unlike Big Cass.
Right? It's funny, you pick somebody in the Women's Rumble who isn't even contracted, and she's the one that was in. In the Men's Rumble, you picked somebody contracted, and he didn't even make it.
Who would have a feasible return at Royal Rumble. Didn't even make it in.
And I think it's worth noting, without trying to pull the fucking race card, that both winners of both Royal Rumbles this year are of Japanese descent. And historically, WWE is not the friendliest or the best representative of Japanese wrestlers.
Let's talk about
so the fact that there's a long fucking line.
Right.
There's a hell of a list. So the fact that both Asuka and Shinsuke are Japanese wrestlers and they both won the Royal Rumble is a huge stepping stone for WWE alone. Just that they're expanding their horizons. I think that's awesome. And I think that's huge for the Japanese culture. Let's put it out there that these guys they got the drive and the discipline that now the Americans want to see. I mean, these people come from the Japanese culture. They did something right.
It was damn good.
Cool.
And then to top it all off, Asuka gets to choose her champion. The champions are in the ring. Asuka's like, who do I want? Who do I want? And out comes Ronda Rousey. That was cool.
It's good. You know what? And in all honesty, it is cool Ronda Rousey showed up. It is cool she didn't come into the Rumble and just win it on her first night.
Right.
Because a lot of people were worried about that. But I think she could have made as big of an impact showing up on Raw and not the Rumble, and not have taken anything away from all of those women. And all she did was she walked up there, she slapped Asuka's hand, she pointed at the Royal Rumble sign, at the WrestleMania sign, she left the ring, she shook Stephanie's hand, she pointed at the WrestleMania sign, she walked up the ramp, she stopped, she pointed at the WrestleMania sign, and then she left.
and come on,
you could have saved that for Raw.
Her theme song totally screams she's gonna have a war with Stephanie McMahon.
Yes, but I love the theme song.
It is good.
I am super happy.
Yeah.
They paid money for it.
It's the first time since CMPunk there's been a legit song.
Is it B-52s? I know I'm wrong about that. What is it?
What? The song?
The group.
It's
that sings
Joan Jett, isn't it?
Is it Joan Jett? Okay, Joan Jett. That sounds right. Yeah. So happy. I mean, it is an awesome, cool song. And
yeah, it's Joan Jett.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm a music guy.
No, that is
don't
cool.
have to double check myself, but I like to sometimes.
Right. Yeah, and it sounds like it's gonna be. It sounds like it's gonna be Ronda, and if they can get him The Rock versus Stephanie McMahon and Triple H. I mean, it sounds like that's what they're really shooting for.
I think The Rock already turned it down, but that doesn't really mean anything because Ronda Rousey said she wasn't going to be there either. So,
right, and we reported that. In fact, the week of the Rumble, I stated that she said she was getting on a plane and leaving the country, and she did. But she obviously flew back. I don't have any of this written down now because obviously we're a week late in reporting Rumble news. But it seems like she was super secret, and the only people that knew about it were Stephanie McMahon, Triple H, Vince McMahon, Charlotte, Alexa, and like just a handful of people that had to do like money stuff and like in the offices. So many people didn't know that was happening at all. Apparently none of the women in the Rumble, other than Asuka, knew it was going to happen. She flew back on a chartered flight. She took a hotel that was like blocks and blocks and blocks away. She came in at the last minute and was brought in under fucking lock and key. Like, apparently it was a really super secret deal for her to get there. Like, very, very fucking few people knew about it.
Right. The president doesn't even get around like that.
No, but, you know, fuck him anyways. You want to talk Raw and SmackDown real quick?
Yeah, we can hit it at light speed.
All right, so Raw was awesome because we started with a match and not a promo, although the match was Roman Reigns versus Bray Wyatt, and we've seen that a million times before, and it wasn't that great tonight. Woke and Matt Hardy did attack Bray afterwards, so that was kind of cool. What do you think, Pasty?
It was not a promo to start the show.
That's a fucking plus.
I was confused. I'm like, did Hulu cut the promo from the show this week?
Right?
But then the promo happened afterwards anyway, so.
So we had Kurt Angle out, and he announced that Bayley, Sasha Banks, Mickie James, Sonya Deville, and Mandy Rose will compete against Alexa Bliss in the first Women's Elimination Chamber match. So Alexa Bliss is defending her title, where Brock Lesnar is not defending his. Nia Jax, on the other hand, is going to face Asuka at Elimination Chamber. And if Nia Jax wins, she will be added to the WrestleMania title match, which we don't even know what the title match is going to be because Asuka hasn't picked who she's going to wrestle yet. Alexa Bliss complained about having to defend her title at the Elimination Chamber, and I have been vocal about this also. It seems really stupid that you have a men's and women's chamber. The men's is for a number one contender, and the women's is for the title. Seems really stupid to me. Pasty?
I think it just gives the pay-per-view a bit of extra flavor. It's not the same exact thing. It's two different matches going for different goals. I think it's cool. It is kind of stupid that Brock Lesnar gets to sit back and do nothing while other champions are constantly working, but that's the way that is. You're not Brock Lesnar.
Now one thing I want to bring up, though, which I didn't notice, so I'm going to bring it up. Kurt Angle mentioned, he said, hey, you know what? Brock Lesnar defended his title at Royal Rumble, which Brock did.
Mm-hmm. And she hasn't.
And Kurt Angle said Alexa Bliss. He said you haven't defended it since October. Now, I think this is the fucking way that WWE needs to book their champions, because you know me, I've told you I like how Brock Lesnar is booked and he's special and he doesn't compete a lot. Now, I didn't even realize Alexa Bliss hasn't had a title match since October.
Yeah, me
because
either.
They've been having her come out. They've been having her have non-title matches. They've been having her do live appearances. Like, I didn't notice it's been that long since she hasn't had it. So I think that's the best of both worlds. She's a special attraction because she doesn't defend it all the time, but I don't miss her because she's there all the time.
Yeah, it's good stuff. And I'm not mad about her defending her title at Elimination Chamber. Like I said, it gives me a reason to watch it rather than just somebody fighting for a number one contender.
And I mean, until Kurt said it, did you realize it hasn't been since October since she defended her title?
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't either. So I think that's the way they need to go. I think less title defenses are good, but I think keeping the face out there is also good. Where Brock is always gone, at least Alexa's always there to where we haven't even noticed.
Right.
The Nia Jax thing is weird, though, and I think she's just... I mean, obviously, she's going to lose. She's not going to beat Asuka at Elimination Chamber. Not before Mania. And we don't even know who's going to be in the Mania match, so why would they add a third person to it? I think this is stupid. I think Nia should be in the Elimination Chamber.
It's just to build Asuka up before Mania. That's all they need to do.
Yeah, and I understand that, but it's like, to me, take Mandy Rose or Sonya Deville out and have Asuka have a squash match against one of them too, and put Nia in the chamber.
Yeah,
and just let Asuka tear through one of them, just tear them.
But then they get criticized because Braun is in the chamber and Nia's in the chamber, and the story there would be basically kind of the same thing, kind of.
Yeah, but neither Braun nor Nia is winning it, so what the fuck does that matter?
I don't know that Braun's not winning it.
Next we had Nia Jax defeating. Next we had Nia Jax defeating Vanessa Floyd, who is Savannah Stone, in a squash match. We're having a few squash matches. They've been bringing them back, and every now and then, Pasty. I'll just say right now, I enjoy them. What's your thought on the squash matches with some of these people?
Nia Jax had squash matches when she first came up in the roster. She's established
Yep.
herself. Why does she have to have a squash match now? To me, it didn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it elevated this Savannah Stone or Vanessa Floyd, what have you, but I don't really see the
See,
point now.
I think squash matches, I think they're good, even sporadically.
What, she just
for
had a
somebody who's
romance
big-time
angle with
person.
Enzo. Now you need to remind everybody she's a big monster.
I'm a fan of squash matches. The only reason I actually put this on here, to be blunt, is this Savannah Stone broad has like one of the best fucking asses I've seen in women's wrestling. And I've always, don't get me wrong, I'm sorry, because I'm always the person who says women wrestlers are all about what they do in the ring, and it shouldn't matter what they wear, what they look like, this, that, or the other. I don't give a shit that Ruby Riott looks like she got hit with a fucking wrecking ball. She's an awesome wrestler, so good for her. But this woman had such an ass. I was in love with her ass. I couldn't take my eyes off her ass the whole match. And then I did a little research into her because I loved her ass. This broad is only 17 years old, and she's been wrestling since she's been 14. So kudos to you. And you know what? I will fuck that 17-year-old. And I'm just going to say that right now. So, Savannah, if you're listening, come lick my balls, baby. Lastly, we had a triple threat match. Elias Sampson defeated John Cena and Braun Strowman. I never in my life thought I would say those words. Now listen to this, folks. Even more than that, the winner of this match actually gets something. This wasn't a throwaway match. The winner of this match gets to enter the Elimination Chamber last at the number 6 spot. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal. They kept pushing that 50% of the winners have been from 6 and 5, but they don't talk about the 5 spot. So I thought that's stupid. But whatever. This was an okay match. Strowman hit Cena with a running power slam, and then Elias actually threw Strowman out of the ring and stole the pin from Strowman onto Cena. And then after the match, Strowman, being pissed as shit, hit a power slam on Elias, and then he ended up hitting 3 total on both Cena and Elias Sampson. So like 6 power slams throughout this whole segment.
In a very non-heel move, in listening to what the crowd wanted. One more time. One more time. And then he tried to do the thing like, I'm going to step out of the ring. Nah, I'm going back.
Yeah, we have to mention that he kind of did the Hulk Hogan ear cup thing, which seems way out of character for him. Like, it was way too pandering to the crowd and less of a monster.
I think it's because of the Mixed Match Challenge, to be completely honest.
It could be. And I will say this. I think this match did everything. I've seen a lot of people complain about this online. And I personally think this match did everything it was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it elevated Elias because he got the win in a triple threat match against Cena and Strowman. No matter what you say, that's huge.
Yeah.
And the way he did it was he used his brain, which isn't bad.
You need that in the Elimination Chamber.
Exactly. Then you had Strowman dominating afterwards, and he looked strong afterwards. That was awesome. And John Cena did kind of look weak, but he is obvious. We all know he's on his way out.
Right.
He's putting young talent over. He has put both Elias Sampson and Braun Strowman over in a big way in just this one match. And I think that's huge for him. I think that's awesome. So I think this was great all around. I don't see anything wrong with this.
It's not like Elias is going to win the Elimination Chamber match, even coming in last. I worry that they're going to play it off as like a joke thing where he's the last one to come out, but then he's eliminated 5 seconds later.
They could. I hope not also, because they're doing a decent job of building him.
I can't see Elias versus Brock Lesnar ever.
I wouldn't say ever, but not anywhere recently, no.
Ever.
If Brock is smart, not ever. No.
Although I would like to see Elias sing songs about him. But I don't want to watch the match.
That's basically Raw in a nutshell. So I'll talk SmackDown Live. Yes. There's a few less on that, but it's an hour less. Started with Shane and Bryan doing their opening promo, which has just been fucking done. It's the exact same promo for the last 2 months, if not more. AJ Styles comes out. Says SmackDown management is obsessing over Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, which he's right. He says it's not just Daniel Bryan, it's also Shane McMahon, and that every decision they make based on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn affects AJ Styles. And he's right. And I'm just sick of all 5 of these fucking competitors. I'm sick of all 5 of these people. Shane, Daniel, AJ, Zayn, and Owens. I just take all 5 of them and never let the other 5 see each other again. Fuck. I'm done with it, Pasty.
It's okay, WrestleMania's almost here. It's almost over.
It's almost over. Rip that bandage off. Anything?
Not particularly.
All right. We had the Usos promo, which I thought, again, I mean, these guys are owning the promos. I'm not going to lie. They sound rehearsed. But they sound good rehearsed, I think.
Yeah, it's not Enzo and Cass.
It is. Exactly. And yeah, it is repetitive. It's similar to what they did last week and the week before. But
that's the theme.
So far, it's here's what it is. And for those of you, which is everybody, who can't see what I did, I put pluses and minuses and dots by everything. If it's a plus, it's good. If it's a minus, it's negative. If it's a dot, I'm in between. And here's my thing with the Usos. Is it gets the point across, and I'm following what they're saying. And I'm happy there was no graphics. But it does come off as scripted, like very scripted. Some people sound pretty good scripted, and I'm torn. So far, like this last one I thought sounded really good, and I could tell it was scripted. So I'll give them again, and we'll see what next week shows. This week I thought it sounded good, but sounded very scripted. I don't know how you felt about it, Pasty.
I kind of feel the same way. I usually really like their promos, but I have kind of fallen into the everything's kind of the same. Whatever they're saying, it's basically the same. The lockdown! That's okay, I get it.
Yeah, and when you do like rhyming back and forth, we just, number one, we know it's scripted.
Yeah.
So you've already done that, and they're doing that. So we'll see. I mean, their work in the ring and their charisma is letting me look past it for the moment. But they got to do something different.
Yeah. I get there to the point where that's what they need to work on. That's what, it's the missing piece.
That's the missing, that's the fifth element, as Bruce Willis would be looking for. The U.S. title match then, Bobby Roode defeated Rusev. This I wanted to bring up for the main reason that at the beginning of this, when Shane and Bryan were talking, Shane McMahon's like, we listen to the people and we give them what they want. And everybody said, Rusev Day, Rusev. They were chanting and chanting and chanting. And then we had the U.S. title match. Bobby Roode versus Rusev. And Bobby Roode went over.
Of course he did.
Why weren't they listening to the fans that were chanting Rusev Day?
All the
Rusev should have won the
2,500
US title.
fans that bought Rusev Day calendars and made them order 5,000 more.
Yeah, that really threw me off. Like, I was sitting there like, you know what? Maybe Bobby Roode wasn't supposed to lose, but everybody's been so vocal they have to let Rusev win, and Rusev still lost. He should have won. That bothers me. That really does bother me because of exactly what they said. I'm still giving it an up. To me, it was a good match. Randy Orton came out and RKO'd everybody for no reason. I didn't get what that was about.
He's been doing that lately. Just random RKOs out of nowhere. He's turning the meme into his gimmick.
They just don't know what to do with him, I think. Honestly.
I'm still liking the hair. Keep the hair coming, Orton.
So then they had Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn.
No,
this
it's
is
Orton becoming a heel again. Because he's been babyface ever since this whole shit happened.
He super needs to become a heel.
Yeah.
He needs to.
Because he wins his matches,
so
and he doesn't need to be winning his matches, you know?
He super needs to.
Who puts people over.
So we got Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens.
Maybe it's time for him to form his own faction, too.
The number one contenders match. Whoever wins this match gets to face AJ Styles at Fastlane. This was actually an awesome match.
Yes.
This was maybe the best match we've seen Owens and Zayn in, because most of their matches have been pretty disappointing, to be honest, which is sad but true.
And
this was just, huh?
I said just wait for Mania.
Oh, yeah. Well, hopefully. But this one was really, really good. But as you and I kind of talked about, the ending to me really made this a shitty match. For almost no reason. Because Sami Zayn is yelling at AJ and spun his chair, AJ Styles attacks not only Sami Zayn, but also Kevin Owens to get the match thrown out, to where they make it a triple threat match for the title at Fastlane. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles. And no, folks, this isn't even the end of that. But we'll get to that in just a little bit. What do you think of the match?
This is the second time in 2 weeks that he's done this to himself. That he's fucked himself over. This isn't Shane and Daniel's doing. AJ, this is your doing. He would have beat Sami Zayn before the Rumble had he not left the ring multiple times to attack an injured Kevin Owens, who he had already beat. It was done. It was over.
Right?
And now he fucked himself over again. It's kind of
even
annoying.
The Rumble, he, like, when he said, why don't I just face Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens together? The first time I heard him say it, I thought he actually meant it. You know, the commentators tried to play it off like, oh, he was being sarcastic, like it's been so hard. But he literally asked for that match.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, he's like, every chance AJ has gotten, he's tried to screw himself. Good match, though, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I liked it. And like I said, I'm excited
Good
for
match.
Mania. It's gotta be Mania.
What makes this match worse, though, is just yesterday, folks, the 8th of February, a Thursday, Shane McMahon put out a tweet saying that on a SmackDown, there's going to be a match between Baron Corbin and Dolph Ziggler. And whoever wins that match will get added to the Triple Threat WWE Championship match at Fastlane, making it a fatal four-way. What does that have to do with anything? fuck?
Neither of them deserve it.
It's just getting ridiculous.
Were either of them even on the power rankings for that week?
No, they weren't. And you know what? We're
about
way
that.
over. Yeah, we're way over time, but we got to talk about that. So let me start with saying, okay, when I heard about this, the first thing I thought was it's stupid because it's not the fans doing it, it's the wrestlers. So it really doesn't matter to any of us as the fans, anyways, to me. But I said, okay, this will be interesting if it's legit. But how do we know if it's legit? We don't, right? It's hard to tell. But then this Tuesday, they had the first top 10 ranking. And number 10 was Mr. 10 himself, Ty Dillinger. And I said, fuck, this isn't legit. Oh, shit. Damn.
That's how much it pissed you off.
Are you there?
Yes.
I killed you. I'm sorry. Holy shit. Woo. Yeah, it really got me going. I killed my mic, folks. Pacey, how do I sound?
A little quiet.
Am I a little quiet?
You're a little quiet.
There we go. We'll do better. Woo! Okay, it got me pumped up, man. Sorry about that. But yeah, that's my point. As soon as Ty Dillinger was number 10, I was like, this is such fake bullshit. There's no way it's true. And then the fact that Rusev wasn't on there and New Day was above Uso, it's like, no, this was not
right.
The wrestlers. This is just WWE making up their own
a random list. A list that wasn't even in an order that made sense.
No, and there's not a reason, right?
They pulled names from a hat, except for Ty Dillinger was guaranteed to be number 10.
Yeah, and it's not like, I mean, what do they
honestly, I was hoping, when they announced it, I was hoping there was going to be something right. Like the list of people behind the number 1 contender, you know, your first 10 contenders to the championship or something like that. But you have the champions on the list.
Yeah, usually
there's no point other
10,
than to waste time. Why do you need to waste time?
Yeah, normally a top 10 is like a ranking system. And usually your number 1 would be like your number 1 contender. So that means that person is probably next in line for the belt.
That's what SmackDown needs to do.
Nothing.
They should just transform it. Be like, oh, we fucked this up. Next week they come back and they're like, okay, there's 2 lists. Men and women. And it's your contenderships. That's what the list should be. God damn it. Video games get it right. The video games know.
Why would it be the wrestlers picking it anyways? Because the wrestlers are obviously just going to do a popularity contest. You either have quote-unquote management who should pick who's next in line, or you make it a fan vote and let the fans vote.
Yeah.
Which they don't want. I mean, we know they don't want that. Yeah, this is just the stupidest thing. And you know, a few years ago, TNA came up with the same thing, and it wasn't supposed to be like wrestlers voted. They had like a bureaucracy that voted on it, and I was excited for that one. It was like, okay, there's going to be a top 10. The number 1 is going to be the top, the number 1 contender, and it lasted like 3 weeks, and they got rid of it. It's like I love the idea of a top 10 where the number 1 contender is, or where the number 1 is number 1 contender. I love the fact that you could wrestle. Like number 3 could wrestle number 1. And if he wins, they switch spots.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I like that idea. There's a lot you could do with that.
It's a constant tournament, basically. It's great.
Yeah, to do it is just ridiculous. And that comes with the whole graphics thing, because this started the same time they started doing these stupid graphics. And I don't like these graphics. I don't like the lockdown graphics. I don't like
what happens when Vince McMahon doesn't have anything to do with 205 Live anymore. He has more time to focus on SmackDown.
When Shinsuke Nakamura comes to the ring, it goes, rock star across like that. I don't like that. I think it's stupid. I think it looks cheap. And since we're on that subject, I don't like the selfie cam fucking videos that you're doing. The promos that you're doing into a selfie cam.
You're a fucking $1 billion company, man.
Right? You have real cameras. It seems so cheap and fucking stupid. To me, it seems cheap and stupid.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to be hip, but there's other ways to do it, and this isn't it.
Save the graphics and shit for like your YouTube videos, you know?
Exactly.
On that medium,
like,
it's acceptable, but on a professional broadcast, right?
I can see us doing it, and because we're cheap.
We are.
We're cheap and small time. And it would look cool on our program. I'm sorry, it would. It would look cool. It doesn't look cool on a multi-billion-dollar platform.
No.
Just ridiculous. Damn it all.
And that's the beef. Told you we were bringing you the guys that segment. Told you.
Yep, that's our beef, is the whole fucking graphics and the whole fucking selfie video. That's our beef of this week.
2017 was Jerry of the Week. 2018 is the beef.
You're damn right. Holy shit.
Well, I guess that about wraps it up with like an hour of overtime.
Oh shit. Some shit's about to go down with my dogs, man.
Oh no.
No, man, they're getting vicious. They're ready to throw down. Yeah, we actually did get an hour extra into this. So, apologize to all of y'all, but, you know, we did a double episode, we missed a week, and then now we did a fucking episode and a half. So we made up for it a little bit. Next week, we'll be back on to our regular shit.
Right.
Yeah, we'll be back on it. Cut us some slack, folks. Y'all didn't do too well in the new year either, okay? So with that being said, anyways, I am Fat Mac.
And I'm Pasty White. And this
and for Cloud
was another luxurious, phenomenal, phantasmal, Abba-Zabba episode of the Mystics Show.
Abba-Zabba, you're my only love.
Only friend.
Only friend.
If you're gonna quote the man, get it right.
Friend. Damn it. All right, I love you like a lovesick puppy. I'm fucking out.
We out.